Portland's housing market is doing something that it hasn't done for a year and a half. And if you're thinking about buying or selling this spring or this summer or this year, you need to understand what has shifted. I'm breaking down the May 2026 real estate update with data and facts, and we'll explain what they mean for buyers and sellers alike. This update will provide you a great baseline of information to help you make any strategic buying or selling decisions, or will just help you follow along with the latest real estate market trends. Before we get into it, if you're a homeowner and you're wondering what your home is worth right now, I've got a free home valuation tool linked below in the description. It takes just about a minute to fill out and will give you a snapshot of your current home equity. Okay, let's get into the latest Portland real estate update. Okay, let's get started with the latest market update for Portland in May 2026. All this data is actually coming from April closings and transactions. So let's take a look. The first thing I want to take a look at here is inventory. Couple things that I want to note here. So it was 3.1 months of inventory, which essentially means if there were no more houses put on the market, how fast would the current inventory be absorbed by the rate of sales that are happening? So that basically we would run out of houses in 3.1 months. That was the same in April of last year. And then it was 3.0 in 2026, which was the same as March of last year. So this is showing me that we're sort of catching up finally after basically 1.5 years before that was the first time that we had inventory be the same from 1 year to the last. Other than after that, for a year and a half, we ran a surplus of inventory compared to the year before. So you could see here 3.7 over 3.2, 3.2 to 2.8, and so on. So basically, the market was slowing. The market was getting leaning more and more into a buyer's market. So now it's kind of starting to get back to the 2025 numbers and becoming a little bit more like 3.1, 3.0. That's traditionally considered a buyer's market. I would say in my, a seller's market. In my experience, I would actually say that it's pretty balanced right now. There are some houses that are lingering on the market and taking many, many months to sell. And then there are other houses that are selling with multiple offers, or I had one that I listed last week. It sold in 4 days. So, and they waived the inspection. So we're seeing a little bit of everything right now. So that's why I'm saying I think it's a balanced market. But this is a big deal. I think that we're starting to catch up, or we're starting to get back to where we were in 2025. And just, we're not seeing inventory grow, which is what we were seeing for a little while. So I think that's a pretty big shift now to see that inventory is not growing, and really we're settling into where we're at right now in terms of, I would say, a balanced market. Next thing I want to take a look at is interest rates. As you can see, so right now the 30-year fixed is 6.36%. That's the blue line here. There's two things I want to talk about this. The first one is last month at this time, it was about 6.3%. So we're just slightly up from a month ago. But let's look, I took this screenshot from a year ago where it was at 6.8. So you can see that this interest rate being down about 0.5% would impact that we would start to kind of come down here and start to reach this. And in time, if rates go back down a little bit to where they were, for a little while here, you would think that this inventory would start to drop. The market would start to get a little bit more competitive, and you'd see this really slide a little bit more into a seller's market and less than a balanced market. So those are a couple things that I want to note. Essentially, the biggest thing is, rates they're up from the most recent history, but they're down from a year ago quite a bit. So let's take a look now. New listings, pending sales, closed sales have all increased from last year, which you'll see here. New listings are up 1.1%. Pending sales are up 5.9%, and closed sales are up 7.1%. So that's not nothing, right? As you can see here, all the numbers are a little bit more clearly laid out. The average sale price decreased just ever so slightly, 0.3%. Frankly, I don't put too much weight into the average sale price. I like to focus on the median sale price. which basically means, half the sales sold under that price and half the sales sold over that price. And where we're at in April was 550, and last year was at 550. So I'll show you the trend of these average and median sale prices here in a second. And then the market time is up just 1 day year over year, 63 days currently, and 62 days last year. So, for the most part, this is showing that the market has picked up lately with more listings, more pending sales, and more closed sales. But pricing's trending sideways, inventory's trending sideways, and the market time is basically trending sideways. So for the most part, the market hasn't moved from this data too much year over year. In terms of the market within a year, from January to December, what typically happens is we see most of our appreciation from January through about June. The summer can usually go about sideways, a little up, a little down, just kind of depends on the year. Then September, maybe first part of October, we'll see another spike a little bit, and then it'll drop down at the end of the year as the holidays come and people stop thinking about real estate as much and home buying and selling, and they get more into their families and holidays and stuff like that. So you can see this all right here. It's just an example. Let's say like April, here it shows April 2022. You can see the market picking up, and then it kind of ticked more or less sideways for the summer and went down, and then it goes up, and then it goes down, and it goes up. And so that's where we're at right now. We're in the market picking up a little bit. It's slowed. I don't know if you can see this here, but the growth slowed a little bit from last month to this month. But over the last few months, you can see that pricing is increased both on the average sale price, which is this orange line, and the blue median sale price. Let's take a look at this. I haven't looked at this for a little while, but this is going to show you a little bit of the bulk of the market activity is really in the $300,000 to $700,000 range. So if you're buying or selling there, you'll see there's a little bit more competition and or at least activity in that range. And the rest of the market is as you go up in price cools off significantly, which is expected. There's just not as many houses at that price point. There's not as many buyers at that price point. So anyways, this is pretty normal for our market, but just thought it'd be something worth including in this month, so you can just get a better sense of what is happening across the different price points in our market. Along with that, let's take a look at the median sale price by region. I haven't looked at this for a long time either, so thought it'd be a good time to bring that back. I'm going to bring it down to about here so you can see, and feel free to pause this and look through to get a better idea. Some of the things worth noting, you have some of the outliers on the high end, like Lake Oswego and West Lynn, with a median sale price of $810. Up in Washington, you have Camas and Washougal up near 700 at 687.5. Ridgefield, in the low to mid 600s, and then Philida up at 600. And anyways, you can take a peek at this. On the low end, it kind of makes sense as you go to the outer areas like Hillsborough, Forest Grove, 522, Yamhill, 476, Mount Hood area, Rhododendron, Welch's and stuff under 500. Outer suburbs and the east side is under 500. And then anyways, of course, Sauvie Island's driving this probably price up, and the west side is generally a little bit higher than the east side. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully it gives you an idea of where you can find some of the higher priced homes in the area and some of the lower priced homes. And some of this really depends. Like this, let's just take this Southeast Portland part. So here's 205 that cuts down through the middle of it, just about. I mean, this portion here is going to be significantly higher than 475, and then this is, or at least I don't know about how significant because I don't have the exact numbers, but you're probably talking about at least $100,000 higher, and then this is going to be a lower priced area. So within each of these maps or areas, you might see a fair amount of variability. but at least hopefully this will give you a little bit of indication of where you might be looking depending on your price point. And of course, I'm happy to talk through exactly what your price point is and exactly what you're looking for, and we can come up with some ideas of areas that would be a good fit for you. Anyways, so that's what I have for you this month. This is my contact information. If you found this helpful, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. I have a link below where you can book a meeting. You can also download my relocation guide if you're coming from out of town. So if there's anything I can do for you, please don't hesitate to reach out. And I'll see you in the next video and hope you have a great day.